Hello, good evening. It's Adil here bringing you a review of the FTSE 100 for the trading session Wednesday, the 2nd of December 2020. Be sure to visit my Twitter handle and obviously my website for those of you that are already following. Okay, so let's have a look here in terms of the FTSE 100. Again, initially the FTSE gapped lower, or certainly moved lower overnight on the back of the obviously concerns regarding the rebellion. Okay, and we had a weakness in yesterday's session with multiple variables which I discussed yesterday, and mainly due to the OPEC obviously indecision, which obviously had a bearing on oil, and as I explained, BP and obviously the oil sector certainly went lower, and which in turn sent the FTSE lower. Now today the FTSE had a stellar reversal, as you can see here on BP as well. You had 4 candles lower, and obviously we had this reversal today on BP, which in turn obviously indicates a FTSE rally. So BP really is the heart of the FTSE to a large extent if you want to look at it from an intermarket analysis perspective. Let's just quickly go into the 10-minute chart on the FTSE here. As you can see here, obviously we gapped lower, and the market certainly obviously pushed higher quite impressively. I think the actual trade that I took the FTSE on overnight, I think we went as low as 6260, and then the actual, obviously that gap remains open. 6266 was the actual official close yesterday, and obviously we gapped higher and the market continued to scream higher. Now the main obviously aspects for the variables, fundamental variables, are the Chinese data was stronger than expected, hence the FTSE obviously pushed higher. UK PMI manufacturing data certainly came in stronger than expected as well. Also, we've got this concern regarding the tier system. Okay, it certainly has been voted on, but there was a bigger rebellion than expected, therefore political uncertainty remains. And also you had the news with regards to Brexit, which again certainly seems to be like a roundabout present with regards to the latest referencing a tunnel. These individuals have nothing else better to report other than these silly little comments or explanations and so-called metaphors. Anyway, let's just focus on the market for now. Okay, so in terms of the 10-minute chart, you can see here we've pushed higher quite impressively, testing that 6400 zone again, which is previous resistance, as you can see here on Monday. Okay, so again, that will be your key resistance for now. Just for the record, before you think I'm talking my book, I am actually short the FTSE, certainly looking for a reversal lower. Okay, looking to potentially close the gap below at 6260, but given the fact that US markets certainly have screamed higher, okay, Nasdaq obviously screaming higher as well, which is quite impressive to say the least, so keep an eye on that. Okay, in terms of the 60-minute chart on the FTSE 100, the possibility of the H&S formation certainly has been negated to a large extent. Reversal should have only been to around the 6310 before we obviously moved lower, so that certainly is off the actual radar for now. But for in the interim, the key resistance remains at 6400, as you can see here on the 60-minute chart. That's your key line in the sand, and if the market obviously pushes higher, then you are looking at testing 6460. My stop loss remains above 6460 and looking to potentially go and move lower back to 6270 on the downside. If that breaks on the downside, then you've got 6180, which I've already highlighted. It remains a key. Now horizontal support obviously is in this zone, and obviously you've got horizontal support as well, so we can't ignore those two key levels either. Okay, just remain flexible, see how the market's performing, and again, my obviously shall we say strategy is based on intermarket analysis, so I'm always looking and adhering to the fundamentals. So again, Chinese data certainly being stronger than expected, UK data stronger as well. Obviously the vaccine euphoria remains, okay, with Moderna, although it was down today, Moderna down 7%, keep an eye on that. Okay, and obviously the US stimulus bill, talk of 900 billion certainly helping, and the US markets push higher. Okay, so that's something that you can't ignore from my intermarket analysis perspective. That's one of the reasons why, or not the main reason, the main reason why the FTSE rallied really was Chinese data, and obviously euphoria over the vaccine. Also adding the obviously stronger UK manufacturing PMI, that certainly did trigger a short squeeze and certainly helped oil stocks, especially given the stimulus news from across the pond. Okay, so in terms of the next potential 10-minute target or 10-minute chart, obviously if you do flush lower, you are looking at 6345 support, 6325 support, and then you've got support at 6310 and 6300. Ultimate gap fill support at 6270. So given the fact that US markets are obviously exceptionally stellar, just be conservative and obviously don't get too excited with that 6270 gap fill unless something certainly really drastic happens. I'll be happy for 63 30, 6310, 6300 on the downside as well. So let's see how the market plays out. US market certainly in that euphoric mood. It's a shame I can't actually share a chart of the US market, so I'll certainly start to do that going forward. In terms of oil, certainly trading sideways in the 60-minute chart post OPEC. So the euphoria from the obviously vaccine euphoria certainly isn't translating into a higher oil price, so just bear that in mind. In terms of, I don't actually have the chart of copper, but I should have the chart of copper here, which is quite important. Let me just bring that in to the equation. So I try to keep these videos very, very small, but when you are trading intermarket analysis, it's very hard to do so. So as you can see here, copper certainly is signaling to you that it's very, very excited over the stimulus news from the US. Okay, that certainly will help Dr. Copper obviously push higher, and that's certainly indicating to you a bullish scenario, which obviously we've already seen in the last few weeks, ever since Mr. Biden came on board. Okay, but having said that, just bear in mind the trade certainly has run its course. As you can see here, 2.1 up to 3.5. I mean, it's almost doubled in value now in terms of copper. So very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. Okay, certainly touching or approaching resistance now in terms of copper, and that will obviously indicate resistance on the FTSE as well. Remember, FTSE is a heavily commodity related index. FTSE 350. Let's just bring up the FTSE 350 as well whilst right. Okay. There we go. FTSE 350 still stuck at resistance until we break that. It's unable to. The FTSE is unable to move higher. FTSE 250 certainly benefiting. Okay, but again, like I said, it is at that 75% resistance, and you got horizontal resistance there as well. So certainly keep an eye on those two key zones. Okay, I think that's sufficient for now. Wish you the best for the trading session for Wednesday. Those of you that do want to join the live analysis service, I do run a subscription service which gives my obviously trades in real time for those that are interested. Okay, I can certainly add you to that if you are interested to do so. Please be sure to visit my site, and or you can email me, either or. The best thing probably would be to email. Just contact me via email. It's basically daytrader at inter-market-analysis.com, or obviously follow the instructions on my site, and you can certainly subscribe. It's a 1 month free trial, and certainly see if intermarket analysis obviously helps you. If it does, please be sure to leave a obviously review on the site. Take care. Goodbye now.